Uh, Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the webinar hosted by African Training Institute. I hope we are going to have a wonderful day. And then I also see that there are people who are still coming in. In the meantime, whilst we are still waiting for them to come in, I just want you guys, those who are already in, to advise if you can hear me loud and clear, and to also indicate where you are watching us from. And then, of course, we are coming to you and greeting to you live from our ATI head office here in Pretoria, South Africa. So if you're already in, please let us know if you can hear us loud and clear. And also don't forget to indicate where you are watching us from. Just write under the comment section, under the chat box there, and let us know where you're watching us. We really need to know, because I know that we have people from Gambia, we have people from Liberia, we have people from Rwanda, we have people from Zambia. I see we already have someone from Sierra Leone. I also see Dashini. Hello, Dashini. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing your name very well, but please, if you can, please advise if you can hear me loud and clear. And you can also let me know where you're watching from. I see we have someone from Mauritius. You're welcome. I also see that Mauritius is well represented already. So people who are from Mauritius, Sierra Leone, welcome. Thank you. I see that you guys, most of you are hearing me loud and clear. Please, Malawi, you're also represented. Tawita, thank you very much. I see that. I also see Guinea. Thank you very much for joining us. Welcome. Please don't forget to advise if you can hear me. We are coming to you live from Pretoria, South Africa, the head office of African Training Institute. Okay, without any further waste of time, what I'm going to do is that I'm first going to introduce myself. And then from there, I'm also going to introduce you the topics of today. And then after that, I'm going to give you a brief profile about ATI as well. And then after that, I'll hand over to my co-host, Mr. Augustus Magovere. I know that most of you were expecting Mr. Privilege Madovi, who was supposed to be joining us today. But then today I'm standing in on behalf of Mr. Privilege Madovi. So without any further waste of time, my name is Matume J. Manamela. That's my surname. And then I'm one of ATI team members. So today I'm standing in on behalf of Mr. Privilege Madovi, my managing director, who is absent today. So please, these are our presenters. Actually, it's me, I'm presenting today. I'm used to saying Mr. Privilege and Mr. Augustus Magovere, but today it's me, MJ Manamela. I'll be your presenter, and then I'm joined by Mr. Augustus Magovere. Mr. Augustus, can you hear me? Please say hi to the participants.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to the ATI webinar. Hope you enjoyed the webinar of today.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Augustus. Please, ladies and gentlemen, don't forget to let us know where you're watching from, and also to state that whether you can hear us properly, because you know that signal is sometimes a problem. Please feel free to write at the comment section if you can hear us or if you cannot, so that we can fix the issue. So to start with, I'm going to give you a brief profile about the company that is hosting this webinar, African Training Institute. So we are into capacity building. We offer training and development services in NGOs, parastatals, government, and any other private organizations across the African continent. So we do offer in-house training. We do also offer research, team building, and business consultancy services. So our clientele is not only local because we are based in South Africa, we also go abroad. Maybe if you are in Gambia, you want us to come there, we can offer you in-house training. So in a nutshell, our services are not based in South Africa. You can still come to your company if you want us to host you there. And then we are also offering in-house trainings. We also have team buildings. So if you want us to host you in Gambia or Ghana or Rwanda or Dubai, we can also customize a program for you that side. So coming to our corporate memberships, we are registered under South African Association for Conferencing Industry. We call it SACI. And then the next one is South African Quality Institute. This is our local quality regulator. And then we are also having this, we are also registered under Services Satir, Sector Education and Training Authority. And then we are also a proud member of the LG Satir. We call it the local government sector. These are these are the regulatory. So everything that we are doing here, we are being guided by the rules and regulations of these particular organizations. So going to today's topics that are going to be explained by Mr. Augustus. Our first topic, we are going to have the keeping employees engaged. And then the second topic is going to be the types of motivations. So I hope you guys are going to gain all the knowledge and experience that you're hoping to acquire when tuning into this webinar. I know that it's going to be very much helpful to some of you. So without any further waste of time, I will be handing over to Mr. Augustus in few minutes. But I first want to acknowledge the presence of people who are joining us today here. Simon, I see you representing South Africa from Roodepoort. Thank you very much for joining us today, Simon. I also see Moses from Kampala. I see that Uganda is well represented by you, Moses. And then from Zimbabwe, Ntsikelelo, welcome. And thank you for tuning in. I see that you are representing our neighbors very well. Of course, I'm from Limpopo, so thank you very much for representing us. Thank you very much. Please, ladies and gentlemen, for now, I'm handing over to Mr. Augustus. I hope you guys will enjoy. So Mr. Augustus will just deal with the two topics for today, and then I will come back later during the day, because this thing is going to take around 1 hour, 15 minutes or 30 minutes. So I hope you guys enjoy. So I will be back to wrap up and to also share with you more as to how ATI is operating. And then I'll also be sharing with you our offers, because we do have trainings that are coming this year. We are also going to visit Ghana as well as Dubai, but then more details will be following as we are going through this webinar. So thank you very much. I'll now hand over to Mr. Augustus. Mr. Augustus, I hope you are ready that side. Ahmed, thank you very much. I see that you are also representing South Africa, and then I also see that Tanzania is well represented. Thank you very much. So thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. I'll now hand over to Mr. Augustus. Mr. Augustus?
Yes, sir.
Are you ready?
Yes, I am.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Matumi. Welcome once again, everyone, to our webinar. As you realize, our webinar has been motivated by the circumstances which we found ourselves in. That is the pandemic. There have been a lot of challenges in this pandemic as our lives have been disrupted, and we therefore decided to come up with some conversations on how we can maybe motivate ourselves and motivate those who work with us under these conditions. So I will cover two topics like what Mr. Matumi has said. My first one is going to be on keeping employees engaged and optimistic. Then my second part will be looking at employee motivation, but specifically looking at non-monetary incentives. We know that organizations have been strained by the disruptions, so their budgets have been cut, etc. And we want to see how we can motivate without necessarily having to increase salaries or giving people bonuses. So, employee motivation. We are saying here, no matter what happens in our life, you can start over again. We are at a time where we need to relook at how we have been doing things, see where we are, and maybe come up with ways of moving forward. So what is motivation? Maybe before we go very far, just to define the way we understand motivation. Generally defined as the force that compels us to action. It drives us to work hard and pushes us to succeed. Motivation influences our behavior and our ability to accomplish goals. So we are saying here, motivation is key to the achievement of our goals, because motivation is what propels us into action. So it is basically the driving force behind behavior. And as managers and owners, business owners, and as managers and senior employees, we need to understand what drives the behavior of our employees and how we can tap into that in order to get the maximum performance out of our employees. So when we're talking of motivate, here we are talking about influence. That is influencing a person, inspiring, making people feel, or making one feel that they would want to do something. Energize, we're talking of giving people energy and encouraging people to do work. So those are some of the ways which basically describe what motivation is. So the question you may want to ask is, why motivation in times of crisis? We know that motivation and the engagement of employees has always been a challenge, even before the pandemic. But the situation has actually been worsened now that people have been completely disrupted by the pandemic. We need to motivate our employees because from research, it is established that 70% of employees are not actively engaged at work. This is according to the McClelland study. So that is definitely a subject of concern, a big concern. It is also established that employees spend 28% of their time managing email. That is basically a distraction. In other words, employees are busy doing other things, while else we would like to see them doing productive work for the company. The other finding is that 90% of executives blame lack of collaboration and poor communication for workplace failure. So what it means again is that collaboration is very important. When we talk of motivation, like we have just been indicating on my previous slide, we're talking of engaging people, bringing people in. And it is also very important that we need to recognize employees, because employees want some sort of recognition every 7 days, according to this McClelland study. So motivation is very, very important to address these deficiencies, which we find in our employees. So motivation will lead to engagement, productivity, increase in productivity, and the innovation which we would like to see, where we would like to see people doing things differently and being more productive, more efficient, and more effective. So that basically brings us the importance of the cycle, which would lead to more productivity. I would also want to share with you Satir's personal productivity curve. In other words, this is what we have gone through, where we are saying just around March 2020, we have performance there and time. Just above the line, people were performing normally just before the pandemic. And on comes the pandemic, and things had to be done differently from there. But performance went down because people became anxious. There was lack of connection, lack of face-to-face interactions during the pandemic, because a lot of people were working remotely. And we got to a stage where we got in a very big dip there, where we thought things were good. However, we realized with time that we have to live with this pandemic, and we have to continue our lives side by side with the pandemic. And we have to come up with ideas and ways of continuing with production. As you can see there, reaching the bottom, energy levels were very low. But as we talk right now, there has been a change. We are all optimistic now. We are looking up. We are looking at doing things differently, but at the same time, ensuring that productivity increases and that our organizations continue to sustain and survive. People are now feeling more positive, and we are feeling safer. So what we are saying here is that this is an opportunity we are having for production, to increase production. In actual fact, it has been established that after every pandemic, from the Great Depression to the Second World War, even the 2008 global economic crisis, it has been established that after a pandemic, actually people's productivity, or the productivity of organizations, actually increase. As you can see on my extension there, where we are saying at the pandemic, this is where production was. But now we have an opportunity to move beyond where we were on the dotted line there and increase our production significantly. So the pandemic has brought a big opportunity for production, to increase productivity. This has been proven by history itself. And what we are saying here is that as managers and as leaders, we have a big opportunity to tap into the new energy. Yes, while we're talking of the energy, we are saying people go through a process to get motivated. They have their needs here, needs or expectations. Every employee, they have their own expectations when they come to work, which results in drive. In other words, when one wakes up and comes to work, they have a certain desire. They are driven into action by certain needs. That need drives behavior. And that behavior is aimed at achieving desired goals. So, which basically provides fulfillment to the person. I will talk a bit more when I look at specific theories on motivation here, where we are saying whether the needs are met or not met here will result again in how the person is going to react to their next challenge. So this is the cycle where we are saying needs, expectations of the individual or the employee, driving behavior to achieve desired goals, and the goals will result in the fulfillment of certain expectations, which allows us now to see whether the person is going to increase their energy or not. So there are a variety of motivation techniques, and all of them, I would say, can be appropriate in this time of crisis. Because jobs have been disrupted, there is need to redesign jobs. Some of you may know of job enrichment and job enlargement. In other words, restructuring people's work so that they can adapt to the new environment of COVID. So individuals can be motivated through job design. They can also be motivated through rewards, which I said the reward one is a big challenge at the moment because we are operating at a very low budget. So I will give you some tips on that on my second presentation when I talk of non-monetary rewards. Then we have motivation through employee participation, which I think will stand out a bit louder here, where we are saying because of the uncertainty, employees would want to be seen to be more involved in what the organization is doing. They would want to be more involved in decision making. So this one will be relevant as we move into this crisis, as we get on into the crisis. Then we can also talk of motivation through quality of work-life programs, which I will talk again more when I look at non-monetary reward. So these are some of the ways which we can motivate our employees through job design, rewards, employee participation, work-life programs. So enter COVID-19. COVID-19 has proven that doing business the old way is not going to work, because it has brought chaos in our way of life and in our way of doing business. So what has COVID-19 done to individuals and organizations in terms of their morale and motivation? Organizations are facing financial difficulties, as I've mentioned, on low budgets and are unable to offer wage increases or bonuses. The emotional and material state of employees has been neglected because there's been so much focus on how we can just survive. So the emotional issues and the material issues, which are very, very important to employee motivation, have of late been neglected. It has thus become difficult for employees to remain motivated and productive as they are under extreme stress and fear for their future. If you can recap on my Satir model there, where we are saying we are at the bottom, we are trying to climb the ladder now because of the impact of COVID. Fear has diminished creativity and lowered energy levels. We can't succeed without creativity and innovation. So for people to be creative, they need to be motivated. They need to be on high morale. As you can see on my image there, we have COVID. And you can see the guy there, you can even judge whether he's actually motivated or he's worried or what's going on to this guy. Because of this remote work, there's a lot of isolation. It's a big challenge. What motivates your employees? We are saying here, shouldn't you find out before they run away? Or before the situation gets worse? Which way to go? Looking at those images, which way should we go? The first one, you can see the employees. There is a cup there. Competition, racing to achieve the objectives. The bottom one, you can see that guy there is stretching. As managers, we need to push. But is this the time to push people, to stretch people, to achieve our goal? Or should we hand hold, go step by step? You can see the guy there, he's going step by step, he's going up. Or should we go for the team approach at this particular time? You can see these guys are working towards one objective. You can see by the way they're putting their hands together that they've got a common purpose. They have a common objective. Yes, we'll talk more about all that. So, motivation brings a lot of dimensions. The model or the framework I have here is just to give you an all-embracing framework on motivation. I have the early theories there, the scientific management, the human relations, and I also have the contemporary theories, which are the content theories and the process theory of motivation. As you can see, the content theories, we are looking at Maslow's hierarchy of needs, which I'm sure most of you are familiar with. Herzberg's two-factor theory, that is the intrinsic and extrinsic motivation, whether people are motivated, self-driven, or by other rewards or incentives from outside. Jeffers' ERG theory there. Achievement motivation theory. But on this particular presentation, this first one, I will look more on the process theories, which are basically the goal setting theory, expectancy theory, Adams equity, and Porter-Lawler's model. So these are basically, I would say, the core theories you can work with around motivation, but it will be more to do with how you apply them in this particular environment we are in, and also based on the state of your organization, on where you are at the moment. You're not going to apply all of them at the same time. Is I'm going to just look at one or two, two or three on this particular one, and then we'll look at the other one. So McClelland's achievement motivation theory basically looks at three needs, which are the needs for achievement, need for power, and the need for affiliation. And according to McClelland, his emphasis is on the need for achievement. And what we are saying is that even during this crisis, people still have ambitions. People still want to move on with their lives. They still have a future. And I believe that the need for achievement will still remain strong during the pandemic at this particular time. Because people's lives have been disrupted. And we need to give people confidence, give them challenging assignments, which will allow them to stretch and achieve. So, Mike Modek there saying, you will never possess what you are unwilling to pursue. So the need for achievement is very core. Of course, the other needs already, I think we have met settlement in terms of survival. We can see that we are here and we want to move on. In terms of living side by side with the virus, I think we all know the guidelines now on how to get along at home, in the office, wherever we are. The need for power, I think that will remain in place, but I don't think it will be very significant at this moment. And the need for achievement, like I said, it will always remain with the employees as human beings. I will consider the goal setting theory as one of these, the most important one at this particular time. Why? Why? Because of the disruption of COVID. People's jobs, task structures have been disrupted. So there may be need to come back together to sit down with the employees, to sit down and discuss where we are and what we want to achieve. So in other words, we need to redefine the goal. And the important thing to define the goal at this particular time of uncertainty is to include the employee in goal setting. What is it that which we want to achieve here? So our emphasis is to say, let's include together, teaming up manager and subordinates to discuss the goals, because the goals are still there, they still need to be achieved. We need to tie goals to work units. In other words, we need to realign our goals to make sure that we remain focused on the bigger goal. We need to be specific about our goals. In other words, we need to increase goal specificity. Because of the disruption, we may end up being all over the place and lose focus. Supervisor will also need to set their goals. And we need to manage performance meetings to track performance, to see how individuals are doing in these circumstances, and see how we can help them to move forward. or to move ahead. We also need to continue coaching and mentoring of our subordinates, because they've been emotionally disrupted. We need to reassure them through coaching, through support, to ensure that they maintain the performance which will lead to organizational survival. We need to ensure focus on relevant areas. I think we are all aware that the time for job descriptions is now in the past. It's now about key output. What is it that which you need to do? That is what one thing which COVID has taught us, is to attend to the important issues. And of course, we need to align rewards with results. That is measuring performance and making sure that whatever we reward employees is appropriate. So in summary here on goal setting theory, we are saying specific goals increase performance. That is, clear goals increase performance. Difficult goals, when accepted, result in higher performance than do easy goals. So it's not about the difficulty of the task, but it's about the acceptance of the challenge. That can actually lead to higher performance. Feedback leads to higher performance than non-feedback. Like I have just been saying, we can get more from our people at this particular time with constant feedback and reassurance. An employee's motivation is a direct result of the sum of interactions with his or her manager. I think that basically sums the goal setting theory, where we are saying the employee and the manager, the sum total of their interaction is what motivation is all about. This is Bob Nelson. Also looking at Porter-Lawler's expectancy theory. Expectancy basically being the key there to say everyone has got some expectations at work. And the core focus of Porter and Lawler's expectancy theory is that effort will lead to performance, which leads to an outcome. In other words, we're talking here of effort to performance expectancy. That an individual will put in effort based on what they expect. And of course, that is also relative to the environment and the ability. And talking of COVID here, we are saying that we need to create a conducive environment, a supportive environment, supportive work environment, where employees feel safe at work. Because the concern with the pandemic will remain there. And the ability, we're talking here of a lot at this particular time, because the nature of work has changed. So we need to reassure our employees that the skills which they have, they are still relevant, and upskill them where we realize that they are struggling. And that way, we'll be able to get the expectancy which we want. In other words, the outcomes which we want. So the employee will always balance between the balance there of the outcome. Is the outcome equating to the effort I'm putting in? In other words, is there equity between the result I'm getting, the reward I'm getting, and the effort I'm putting in? So what we are advising you to do is that we now need to look at the outcomes and see how we can reframe them to ensure that we maintain the effort. So to summarize Porter-Lawler, we are saying individuals tend to act in certain ways based on the expectation that the act will be followed by a given outcome and the attractiveness of the outcome. Focus is on the linkages on effort and performance and reward and attractiveness. That is reward and individual goals. What the individual gets and what is their goal in life or at work. So I've given you a range of motivation theories. Maybe the question you may be having in your mind now is, which one is the most appropriate? Choosing an appropriate motivation model. You will need to carefully diagnose the situation. Check your situation. You know your team better, you know your subordinates better. So you need to carefully diagnose the situation. From there, you then need to choose a motivational approach that best fits the situation's deficiencies or neglected opportunity. What is the deficiency in this situation? Or in particular to this particular individual? What is lacking, or how can they be motivated? Observe people to be motivated. Try to discern their interests and concerns. The key here is their interests and concerns. We need to figure them out. I think this is what we've been saying, that prior to COVID, people had different concerns. But now, because of the experiences we've gone through, the harsh environment we have lived in, I think our interests and concerns have changed in so many ways. Apply the motivational technique. Monitor for the expected change in performance. So, when we want to see how best we can apply the motivation theory, or which one is the best for our situation, diagnose the situation, identify the deficiencies, find the interest, identify your technique, which you can use in that situation, and monitor for change in performance. If there is no change in performance, it means that you need to change your motivation technique or method, or the style you're actually using. One of the biggest challenges we are facing right now, and we will continue to face as we move into the future, is that psycho-emotionally, individual employees have been impacted badly. In other words, there's been a lot of mental health problems. Employees are in a very bad state. So you will find that their motivation is going to fluctuate. Motivation is going to go up and down all the way. But our organization cannot survive in that order. We want consistency. We want to maintain motivation at the very peak there, at the upper end. So we want to try and prevent a situation where motivation is very low. This is why we are talking about applying the most appropriate motivational theories, encouraging people and making sure that their motivation remains high during this period as we try to revive our organization and get back to where we were before COVID, or even better. So as we motivate our people, let's think about how we can maintain that motivation, how we can keep the motivation high. Just some few benefits there of employee work motivation. we cannot do without. We are talking here of improved productivity. We know that happy and enthusiastic employees are more productive than passive and disengaged employees. The quality of our delivery, the quality of our service, the quality of our product is also likely to improve if the employees apply themselves in whatever they do. We will be able to save money as there will be less errors and defects and mistakes and repetitions. So with high motivation, we are able to benefit, to increase even our bottom line. And we are able to retain some of our top employees because it's a happy workplace. It's a challenging workplace where they endeavor to do their best. Pleasant work environment. We spend most of our time at work, and we need to be happy at work. And happiness increase and increase profitability. So motivation is key for organizational growth, because productivity, morale will increase revenues for our organization. So highly motivated employees will lead to organizational growth, organizational productivity, and sustainability. Just a quick one on some quick tips there on employee motivation during the crisis. What can we do? We need to think personally, timely, often, and sincerely. That's what we are saying. Even if we're doing it before, we now need to do it even more often and more heartily, with our full heart. Take time to meet and listen to staff. Feedback is very, very important. Continuous and regular feedback. Encourage new ideas and initiatives. We talked about innovation there. That will keep our employees motivated. Also explain that the employees are still needed in the organization for it to survive now and in the future. So explain how the individual fits into the organization's plans. Involve employees in decision making, like the goal setting theory is advising us to say employees must participate in work which concerns them. In other words, provide ownership in their work. Recognize, reward, and promote test on performance. Performance measurement is going to remain key as we move forward. And we need to give a chance to learn new skills. It's one way of motivating employees. An employee who is struggling on her or his current job is likely to be on low morale because they are challenged by their work. So in conclusion, in life we have the choice of heeding the advice of winners or listening to losers. Go for the winners. Yes, there's a lot we can do in this time. Life is good, everything is going well. I am on the way up. Yes, we can recover through a highly and productive workforce. So we are saying when we strive to become better than we are, everything around us becomes better too. Thank you. And meet you on my next presentation. Over to you, Mr. Matuma.
All right, thank you, Mr. Augustus, for a nice presentation of our part one. Please, ladies and gentlemen, stay tuned. Mr. Augustus is still going to come back with part two of the presentation, as I've highlighted before. Please feel free to write on our chat box if you can hear us, if you're having problem with hearing us. But I can see that everything was in order, but I hope that, is it Wongo? Joanna, I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing your name very well. I hope that your signal is now came right, because I can see that you're struggling and saying that our signal is too slow. I hope that you are sorted. And then, ladies and gentlemen, one other thing. Last month, we were in Ghana. I just wanted to share with you our satellite training information. So we were in Ghana last month, and then we are still going to come back in Ghana. Please, people of Ghana, make sure that you send inquiries. So in Ghana, we are scheduled for the following programs. Number one, we have in the public procurement, supply chain, and contract management. So it's going to be from the 4 to the 15th of October, pardon me. It's from the 4 to the 15th of October, 2021. So we'll be in Ghana. So we are going to host 4 programs that side. So number one, we are having public procurement, supply chain, and contracts management. We are also going to have the project management for donor-funded projects. And then another one is executive skills for personal assistants and administrators. And then the last one, we are going to have procurement management for donor-funded projects. So we will be hosting 4 programs that side. So let me repeat the programs: is public procurement, supply chain and contracts management, project management for donor-funded projects, and then you also have executive skills for personal assistants and administrators. And then lastly, we have a procurement management for donor-funded projects. So these programs are going to be hosted in Ghana from the 4th to the 15th of October, because we were there last month in March. So we are coming back, Ghana. Please feel free, even if you are not in Ghana, you are still welcome to send your inquiries, and then we can still host you if you're interested in the programs that I've just mentioned. And then in May, we are going back to Dubai. We were there in January. In December. So we are still going back on the 3rd of May to the 14th of May. So we are still going to host the same programs that are being hosted there in Ghana. So the programs are going to be from the 4th to the 14th of May. And then it's also public procurement, supply chain and contracts management. We are also having the project management for donor-funded projects, the executive skills for PAs and administrators, and also the project management for donor-funded project. So these programs are going to be hosted in May from the 3rd of May to the 14th of May, 2021. And then after that, if you happen to miss these programs in Dubai, we are also going to have them again in November, from the 1st of November to the 12th of November 2021. So if you miss the schedule for May in Dubai, you can still join us on the November schedule, which is from the 1st of November to the 12th of November. So I'll also share the information on your files. So if you see, I'm going to share the information. Please feel free to download it on the bottom right of your screen. You can download the information that I've just highlighted. And then I hope to see you in Ghana or in Dubai next month. It's in May. Yes, it's next month. And then I'm also hoping to see you again in Ghana. Ghana, we are coming back. Please make sure that you are sending the inquiries. And then the information is all there. If you can just see at the bottom of your screen, on your right, the bottom right of your screen, just download the information. Is there. And then please feel free to send the inquiries. All the informations are there. Then I'll also be highlighting more information about the fees and everything once Mr. Augustus finishes with his second part of the presentation. So for now, ladies and gentlemen, please, I see that those people who are saying that they want the presentation, please note that the information will be shared. The full presentation will be shared on our YouTube channel. So if you go to our website and then there's a YouTube link, just click there and then you'll be able to see all the webinars that we have hosted before, including this one. So I'm hoping to see you in Ghana. And then for those who are interested in coming to Pretoria, we are still open. And then I see that Wongo, I hope I'm pronouncing your name very well. I see that now you are sorted, your signal is very well. So thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. I'll now hand over to Mr. Augustus. So I see that people who wrote questions on our chat box. Sheriff, I see your question as well as Thierry. So I'll get back to you guys as soon as Mr. Augustus finishes. So even those who are having questions, please feel free to write them. I will note them down and then I'll give you answers after Mr. Augustus finishes with his part B of the presentation. So thank you very much. I'll see you guys with more questions and with more answers and more information about the training in Dubai and Ghana, also in Pretoria. And then don't forget that we also have a training center in Ghana. We have a branch in Rwanda. So for those who want to attend in Kigali, we can still host you there. But then more information will be following after Mr. Augustus' session 2. Mr. Augustus, let me. Okay, Mr. Augustus, you're good to go. And then those who are having questions about the trainings and everything, please feel free to share on our chat box. And then I'll write them down and answer you as soon as Mr. Augustus is done with his presentation. Mr. Augustus, you're good to go, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Matume. Welcome once again, ladies and gentlemen, wherever you are. I hope you have enjoyed my first part. My second part, I think, is going to be much more even interesting. Here we are looking at non-monetary rewards. How can we motivate employees under these conditions of COVID, where budgets have been cut, where there are no bonuses, where everyone else is struggling? So there's different types of motivation, where we are looking at what you can call positive motivation. If you see there my upper left image, you can have negative motivation. You can see that guy there, he's pointing at the supporters and saying, be motivated. Wonder whether that guy is gonna get motivated. We have, of course, mainly relied on money, which is monetary motivation. And my emphasis is on non-monetary motivation, which is basically non-monetary incentives. How or can they motivate people? So these are incentives not based on money. They are also very useful in increasing production and efficiency. Why non-monetary incentives? %65% of the employees prefer non-cash incentives, according to McKinsey study. it was found that more than 50% of employees prefer non-monetary recognition. 69% of employees would work harder if they felt their efforts were better appreciated, according to the survey. So employees want their efforts to be appreciated. 50% of employees believe being thanked by their managers not only improved their relationship, but also build trust with their higher ups. A mere thank you can make a sea of difference. 50% of employees indicated that. Companies with recognition programs that are highly effective at improving employee engagement have 31% lower voluntary turnover. In other words, employees staying because of the reason that they are recognized or they are noticed. When asked what leaders could do more to improve engagement, 58% of respondents replied, give recognition. So, ladies and gentlemen, recognition is key. In other words, there is no way it is mentioned there to say, improve my bonus, or I want a large salary. So what are some of the techniques of motivating employees? Employees desire to be achievers, according to previous motivation research. In other words, from welcome all the way up, employees want to see themselves moving up the ladder, climbing the ladder rather. They want to see themselves there at the very top celebrating. But of course, climbing the ladder comes with its own challenges. You can see there is a lot of effort there to get to the top. But after getting to the top, it is key that the employee wants to be number one. They want to be first. In other words, we can provide challenges to enable employees to do their best. They like to celebrate achievement. That's what we are saying. Desire for recognition. When people receive recognition or affirmation for their effort, it has a positive motivation effect on them. Just a few words of encouragement are worth their weight in gold. A few words of encouragement cannot be replaced by anything else. Your work rate is fantastic. I really appreciate you staying late last night. Your presentation to the client was really well delivered, especially Section X. You are doing great work. Keep it up. John, our CEO, was really impressed with your spreadsheet skill. How would you feel when your supervisor gives you this kind of feedback? Won't you feel good? Won't you feel great? Dear team, you are all amazing. Keep up the great work. What do you think this can do for teamwork? I believe it can do wonders. I believe this can do wonders for teamwork. Few words of encouragement. Some non-monetary rewards again, like treat, free lunch. You can see that John and Cindy are having a time out. They are having lunch out. Employees value this. Birthday treat. Knickknacks like desk accessories, t-shirt. They can uplift the morale of employees. Awards like trophies, certificates, social acknowledgement, recreational club membership like gym membership, office environment on itself, office ergonomics. It can uplift the morale of your employees. Token vacation trips, on the job, more responsibility and training that I've mentioned on my previous presentation. Yes, Carol and Jennifer are having their day out. This can be a memorable occasion, something which they can never forget. While it may cost very little, a few dollars, but the difference it would make and the long-lasting effect it can have is what will benefit the organization the most. Food, beverages. A pat on the back, pat on the shoulder. We can utilize all this during this time when cash is scarce. We are saying there's a lot we can do to uplift the motivation of our employees. You can see there Tom, the boss, and John, and how John feels so good about this part in the back, being congratulated, being thanked for a job well done. Even a colleague in the office is also clapping hands to show appreciation. Like we said, the best performance there, being awarded a trophy for good results. It can be something which can be celebrated by employees. Remember, you buy the trophy once, and they can even circulate, you can even change it for the best performing team. Like employee of the month, certificate of achievement, a recognition certificate can make a huge difference. A certificate which one can show to their friends and family will always be something which will be revered by the employee in their life, even post their work life. They will not forget. Other motivational strategies. Positive reinforcement. You can do it. You can see that guy. How much he feels. He doesn't want to let the team down. He is doing his best for the good of the team. So there is a lot we can do around motivation without necessarily having to increase people's salaries or improve their bonuses at this particular moment. Like fair treatment of employees. understanding their need, and the setting of work-related goals, which I have talked on earlier. So a big challenge like that, showing that you have got confidence and that you believe in the employee, can make wonders for you. So a brief research here, recognition award research, Global Rewards Association. According to a published survey of nearly 2,000 people, it shows that what employees want more than financial rewards are rewards that make them feel valued. In other words, employees want to feel valued. Employees are more likely to value bioscope personalized awards over money. So money is not necessarily everything. 47% of employees want to receive rewards spontaneously, on the spot for good work. 38% want in exchange for good work. Immediately after good work, you can recognize the person. I said it can be a pat on the back. It can be a commendation. It can be words of encouragement. So there is improving utilization of recognition in organizations, because most organizations are realizing the importance of recognizing of other forms of motivation, which are outside cash reward or salary increases. So one of the examples there, BCX, which did some survey, one of the organizations here in South Africa, and came up with other motivational factors, again, which are non-man linked. For example, time with the CEO or the chief financial officer or other executive ExCo members, executive members. Just sharing 10 minutes with the chief executive can uplift the morale of an employee, can improve the productivity of an employee. Visible recognition, where you call employees and their families to come to work when they get recognitions. Weekends away, even extra leave days. We know now that with this remote working, all this can be seen as value. A letter of recognition. Even bring them to work to celebrate their success. All this can help to improve employee motivation during these times. So, for further inquiry into this area, you can actually partner with the recognition scheme partner, which is the Reward Factory, an organization which basically looks at reward packages and look at their suitability to the nature of your organization or to looking at the stage of development of your organization and see how they can be most appropriate to the various levels and the various grades of employees. Because various different kinds of employees expect different kinds of reward. So that will need to be analyzed also. Yes, celebrating with the employees, challenging the employees. Do it. Creating a positive work culture, accountability of leadership, demonstrating your emphasis on quality, personal challenges. All this can improve motivation and build loyalty. So, motivate your employees in the workplace. What we are saying here is that nothing great was achieved without enthusiasm. It all starts from here, where the employees are happy. They feel good about their work. That is how the organization can achieve great things. I think I have covered most of that part for the sake of time on that part. So some of the best companies to work for, like Apple, but you can also do it the Google way. Some advice there on Google. Their emphasis is on clarity, like I was talking about goal setting. Clear clarity, conducting surveys to establish exactly what motivates your employees, coming up with amazing facts, playing hard and working hard. We know these are hard times, but we need to also create opportunities to play. It can make a huge difference. Right to voice, to express their feelings. Employees being able to share their day-to-day work experiences with their leadership and discuss challenges and how the organization can move forward. Thank you. Over to you, Mr. Matume. Maybe we can attend to the questions. If there are one or two questions, we can try and address them in the given time.
Okay, you mean we will go to the questions before I wrap up?
Yes, please.
Okay. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Mr. Augustus just highlighted that those who have questions, even if it's a general question about ATI, even if it's include the webinar, please feel free to highlight. We have about 15 minutes, and then from there I will wrap up, and then I hope all is in order. So, Mr. Augustus, I have someone asking about it's a theory. He said, hello, following the presentation since the start, and it is very insightful. I would like to know if there is a part that will focus on the practical part of how to engage employees in this time of COVID-19. So maybe if you can just advise him or her, I don't know, because I didn't hear anything about the practical part of how to advise employees in this time of crisis.
Can you come again, Mr. Matuma? It's not clear. I didn't get it clearly. I lost you somewhere.
If you can go to our chat box on your right, you see the chat.
Okay.
Are you able to see the charts?
No. But it's fine. I can answer.
Okay, he's saying, is there any part that will focus on the practical part on how to engage employees in this time of COVID-19 crisis?
Okay. Yes, I think generally what I've been presenting on, it's all about engagement. But engagement obviously is relative, depending on the nature of your organization. Some organizations were impacted greatly by COVID. Some were less impacted. So I'm not sure exactly what the delegates, where their organizations are at this particular stage. But I think the whole issue really is to try and find out. I think carry a thorough analysis in terms of what is it that which is deficient, or what is it that which is lacking on this particular individual, and try and identify that and find a way of filling in that gap. And of course, a lot of it will have to do with opening up, openness, being objective, allowing people to express their feelings, creating more openness at this particular time. Because this is the time when people want a lot of empathy. I think we need to start from there.
Okay. All right. Then I also see Mr. Sheriff Njie. This name is very familiar, though. Mr. Sheriff, you were asking about the slides. So this the slides won't be shared. We only share the presentation. So the presentation is going to be available. The full presentation will be available on our YouTube channel. So you can visit our website, www.africantraining.co.za. So our website, on our website, there's a YouTube icon. So you just click there and then you'll be able to see all our webinars. So this one will be loaded later today. So you can still catch up with the webinars that we have hosted before. So this one will also be loaded later today. And then I think that I've also answered Stephanie. So the slides, the presentation will be shared on our YouTube channel. So I will also be sharing the YouTube channel on our Facebook page, African Training Institute. So if you can also visit our Facebook page. I will share our YouTube channel link so that you guys can be able to see all the webinars that we have hosted before, including this one. And then I hope I've answered you, Sophie, Stephanie. Then Julius, thank you very much for joining us. Laveni, how much is the session? About the sessions, I'll be after this, after taking these questions, I will share with you more details about the sessions before I close this webinar. So the information is still coming. For now, we are still taking the questions. So, but then Sheriff, I'll share with you the information about the training fees and everything. So after this question and answer session, I will take you through to the fees and everything included in our training fees. And then thank you for the wonderful presentation. You're welcome, Elizabeth, and then we thank you very much. We are highly motivated and appreciate your comment. And then Gamal, thank you very much. Gamal is saying thanks for the presentation, Mr. Augustus. And then another one, because it's not, the question is not the question, but I would like to add that in order to meet video employees, safe for keeping process. Okay, thank you very much for the input, Shama. So Mr. Shama is saying that as is not the questions, but we'd like to add to that in order to motivate our employees. The concept of our work from home should be adopted. That's work being done by keeping ourselves and others safe. That's what Shamal is saying. And then Lika from Malawi, thank you very much. The name is very familiar. Lika is saying thank you for the highlights, and then they will be useful to motivate their employees. So thank you very much, Mr. Augustus. So for now, let me just go straight to wrap up because we don't have enough time. So for those who are still having questions, please feel free to send them. I will ask Mr. Augustus to answer them before we wrap up this webinar. So as I've highlighted before, we are into capacity building. So these are two types of trainings that we are offering. We offer online courses as well as face-to-face or contact sessions. So the contact sessions can be either in Dubai, Ghana, or you can come to our head office here in Pretoria, South Africa, or you can visit our branch in Rwanda. We have a branch in Kigali. Then we also offering online courses in case, because this is, we are in the middle of pandemic. So for those who are not comfortable in traveling, they can still inquire about online trainings. So for our face-to-face trainings, you can come and attend at Pretoria. It's our main training center. It's our head office. We also have a sub office in Kigali as well as in Harare. We also have a sub office. So Harare is just our neighboring country in Zimbabwe. And then we also have satellite training centers, which is in Accra. We have Cape Town, Dubai, Mombasa, Durban, and Victoria Falls in Zambia. So we can also host you at any other venue which is required by our client. So it doesn't mean that if your country or your place of interest is not here, we cannot visit you. So we are not limited to these satellites. So if you want us to come to Mauritius, we can still host you, but then you have to be a group of 3 or more participants for us to host you in these satellite training centers. So if you have a specific training that you are interested in, and then you want to attend it in Swaziland or maybe Lesotho or Botswana, you have to be a group of 3 or more for us to customize a program for you in those particular countries. So we are based in South Africa, but we are not limited to train in South Africa. So we can travel across Africa. We can also go to Dubai if you want us to train you there. So as I've highlighted, Dubai, we are coming in May. So those who want to join us in Dubai, please make sure that you are sending the inquiries. And then Ghana, we are going in October. Please make sure that you send the inquiries. And then I've also shared the files about our satellite training center. Please make sure that you download to see more information. The download is just there at the bottom right of your screen. Make sure that you download the full sessions of the dates and everything about the satellites on the bottom right of your screen. So coming to the fees for our face-to-face training, for 1 week, the fee is $2,490 per delegate. Then we also have for 2 weeks, which is $3,250. So the difference between 1 week and 2 weeks is the time frame, because if you are here for 2 weeks, it means you are going to attend from 9 o'clock up to 1 o'clock. So it's a relaxed session. So your training will end at 18 hours. Then for those who are here for 1 week, we extend the time for you for the facilitator to cover all the program on the session guide. So you'll be attending a full day from 9 o'clock up to 4 o'clock. So our training fees covers the airport shuttle. We pick you up from the airport. It also covers the training materials. And then also having the excursion whereby you'll be visiting other places of interest here in South Africa. So usually when the delegates come this side, on Fridays we take them for sightseeing. We take them to Nelson Mandela House, the Apartheid Museum, and then we also take them to Sun City, because we don't want you a situation whereby you come to South Africa and only to find out that the only places that you know is the airport, your hotel, as well as the training center. So on Fridays, we take you out for sightseeing. And then there's also the training support tools whereby you have to choose between the laptop or the tablet. And then we also give a certificate of completion prior your training. And then moving on, our online courses information. So once you register and pay the fees, the online platform link will be provided to you. So the live support will be conducted from 9 up to 1. So after that, a certification of completion will be carried to you within the space of 3 weeks. So once you're registered, we'll send you, and then we paid, we'll send the online platform link. And then after that, the session will be from 9 to 1 from Mondays. And then after that, once you've completed, we'll send you the certificate within 3 weeks. And then the fees for online courses. So if you want to attend for 4 days, our life support will be from 9 o'clock up to 1, as I've already mentioned. So it's $790 per delegate or per person. And then the fees into the training material, as well as the certificate of completion. So the certificate, you'll get it within the space of 3 weeks, as I've highlighted before. And then we also have the one for 8 days, which is $1,290 per delegate. And then the training material, it's covered in the training fees, as well as the certificate of completion. So for bookings, ladies and gentlemen, please visit our website. It's www.africantraining.co.za. You can also send an email or an inquiry to admin@africantraining.co.za. You can also call us. Our landline is there. And then, or also WhatsApp us. Our mobile number is there, as well as our WhatsApp number. Please feel free to contact us on WhatsApp or our landline. And then for more information, you can visit our website, as I've highlighted before. On our website, if you want to get hold of this presentation and our previous presentations, because we have been doing these webinars since last year, and then you can be able to see the ones that we have already loaded there. On our website, as I've highlighted before, you go to our YouTube link on top of our website, and then you just click the YouTube icon. It will direct you to our YouTube page. And then we are also on Facebook, Twitter, as well as LinkedIn. We are also available. So for me, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much. But before I say goodbye to everyone, let me go back, see the people here who have already sent more questions. Mr. Augustus, I hope I'm not taking your time, but then let me just take these questions and give others a chance. And then,
let's get on the business.
Okay, I see that we have participants from Nigeria, we have participants from Sierra Leone, Tanzania. Thank you very much, people, for joining us. And then I'm hoping that you guys are also going to join us on our upcoming webinars. We thank you very much. And then Baba Birma, I hope I'm pronouncing your name very well, saying that I wish to thank the team for the laudable and wonderful presentation. I will appreciate if you can share your various fees and respective fees, and whether the training can be done virtually, taking into consideration the new normal from Nigeria. So Mr. Birman, I hope I've already answered the question. You can also download this webinar on our YouTube channel, just for you to see the fees that I have highlighted before. So the fees for online training, we also offer it, as well as the fees for contact sessions. And then you can also send an email to our admin, or you can also visit our website. You can also go to our YouTube channel for more information. And then we can assist you with other relevant information that you may inquire. And then Elizabeth from Zimbabwe, thank you very much. I can see that Zimbabwe is well represented by you, Elizabeth. Thank you very much for tuning in. And then we're hoping to see you again on the other webinars that are coming, because we usually host these webinars once every month. So please, whenever we advertise, please feel free to join and get more information. And then Mr. Augustus, For now, before I say thank you, any few last words for the delegates before I say goodbye to them?
Oh, okay. We hope to meet them, whether outside or locally are available. I think the rest we have covered, Mr. Mutume.
Okay.
We look forward to meeting our the delegates for sure.
All right. For me, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much. Don't forget to inquire about Dubai. Don't forget to inquire about Ghana. Don't forget to inquire about Rwanda. Don't forget to inquire about Pretoria. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Hoping to see you again in our next webinar. I'm hoping to see you, some of you, in Ghana, actually. I'm also hoping to see some of you in Dubai. And I'm also hoping to see you again joining us here in South Africa. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. All the best and enjoy the rest of your weekend. And please remember to always sanitize, wear a face mask, and make sure that you keep social distance. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen.